We could have not have gotten the government in Afghanistan more wrong unless we'd have just appointed a dictator and shoveled $10 billion to the dictator. We've essentially done that. We have a de facto dictator. No human being could have resisted the power temptation that we handed to President Karzai. And I'm watching as our administration, the Obama administration, negotiates with the Taliban. That's our enemies. And preparing, along with Karzai, to hand Afghanistan over to the Taliban. The Northern Alliance would resist that, and I think that it would be a calamity to do so. In fact, I just would make the remark that whenever the United States has negotiated with an undefeated enemy for the purpose of being able to leave their land, we have lost, and under those circumstances, we would always lose. We cannot do this. The Northern Alliance will stand with us. There's been too much blood, too much sacrifice in Afghanistan to throw it all away and hand it over to the Taliban.
And what are you doing here in Berlin?
I had met with leaders of the Northern Alliance sometime about a year ago, and I understand what they've gone through. These are the people that drove the Russians out of Afghanistan with some U.S. help, and then in the power vacuum, the Taliban came in and did what we know they did, the horrible things they did to the people of Afghanistan. Also created, of course, the training ground, and they opened the door to the Al-Qaeda. When Al-Qaeda attacked us, we went back to Afghanistan. These are the men that led the battles in Afghanistan, those that lived that led the battles in Afghanistan to drive the Taliban out. When that happened, the Northern Alliance took our advice and accepted the Constitution that was offered by the United States government, gave up all their heavy weapons, and they believed that they would have a U.S. presence and that there would be some political power and influence for the Northern Alliance. Well, instead, what's happened is President Karzai is all-powerful, runs the whole country, appoints all the governors. He appoints the political representatives all the way down to, seriously, the school teachers.
So in 2014, when we're talking about drawing down and there's a new election cycle for the Afghans, what do you think will happen?
Well, I'm concerned about our 2012 election in the United States first. It's very clear that President Obama has signaled, and he's plainly said, that the United States is pulling out of Afghanistan. If we pull out of Afghanistan, NATO forces can't stay without U.S. support. And so that signal has already echoed over to the Taliban. The Northern Alliance understands it too. And we want, and our Northern Alliance wants, a new constitution, one that's proportionally represented, one that reflects the representation of the people, and it eliminates the appointment to those positions and elected officials all the way down the line. But this is a dramatic change that has to take place, and every lesson of history says don't do this. We did it anyway. And the only thing that I can see that could turn us back from this would be a new president in the United States that does understand this, that would build a relationship with the Northern Alliance in such a way that a new constitution could flow from it. But it has to be a priority of the next president, unless, of course, this president should change his mind. I'll seek to change his mind as well.